What if your program could remember things? Your name, your score, your high score, all saved, all changeable. That's what a variable is. And once you get this, everything else in programming makes sense. Let's go. A variable is a box with a label on it, and the label is the name. The box holds a value. For example, a box labeled score that holds the number 0. Every time you get a point, we change what's inside the box. The label stays the same, but the value changes. Variables let your program remember and change information. Without variables, every program would do the same thing every time. With variables, programs become alive. Alright, so in Scratch, we will be going to the variable section in order to declare a variable. Now, declaring variable means creating a variable. So here, instead of my variable, we will be renaming it to score because that's what the label is. Label basically means with different names. Now here, set score to 0. So initially we're going to set it to 0, and this is going to start only when the green flag is clicked. So we will go to events and attach this block over here. So initially when the green flag is clicked, the score will be set to 0. How about we use looks in order to display the initial score? So let's go to looks, say hello, go back to variables, and this time instead of hello, we'll have to attach this block over here. Once that will be done, you will see the score has been displayed, which is 0. But our plan is to make sure that this value of the variable changes by 1 every single time something happens. So here we are going to make sure that we add another event, which is going to be when space clicked. Now this is another event which will make sure that every single time space bar is clicked, score is getting increased by 1. I'm going to simply duplicate this portion again, and instead of 1 second, let's change it to 2 seconds. Let's change it to 1 second to be more fast. Now let's click on green flag and see how it goes. Initially 0. Then when I press space bar, it's updating to 1. Let me just maximize this. Again, 2. So you will see every single time you press the space bar, the score is getting increased. Amazing, right? Now the Python translation. Before we move to that, I would like to tell you that we won't be using Trinket anymore because somehow it's not allowing us to create new projects. So instead of that, I found this amazing website that is pickcode.io that can help you to create the same Python projects just like we were doing in Trinket.io. So here I'm going to use this. You just have to sign in just in case you have an issue. Let me know. I'll help you out with that. So here you can create a new project. Click on new project, enter the title. So let's name it as variables. Oops. You do have an error. Select a language and it's gonna be Python. Now it's gonna ask you console, graphics or others. So this is basically gonna help you understand console because we want the output in the terminal. We are not going to work with Turtle for now. So let's create one and let's get started. Now in order to use this, I will have to declare a variable. Now here I'm going to declare a variable and assign it a value 0. So score is the name of the variable, equals to is gonna help us to assign 0 to the score variable. That equal sign doesn't mean it is equal to like in math. It means I'm assigning. Put the value on the right into the box on the left so that score gets the value 0. Now I'm going to increment this value. So take whatever is in score, add 1, put it back in the score. Same logic, just a different language. So how can we do that? Score equals to score plus 1. So here we go. This is how we can declare a variable and increment its values. Now we have to make sure that we also have this increment happening again and again. But here is a catch. In Python, we are not going to use any sort of events like when space key pressed or green flag because this does not work here like that. Of course, we can use the loops later on to make it automatic. But for now, I'm going to rewrite the same code. So let's use print statement that we discussed in the previous video. So I'm going to add start, comma, because start is a text, right? However, this variable is holding a numerical value, so make sure you are using the name score without quotation marks because it's a variable and variable name never comes inside quotation marks. Now for the second one, I'm going to make sure that I keep on increasing. So I'm going to copy it and paste it. So this is going to be after point 1. So let's now name it as after point 1. So I'll have a different score. Then paste it after point 2. Then for the third time, or maybe we can have a bonus round. So let's give 10 points at the time, and I'm going to name it as bonus point. Now I'm going to simply run this code. To run it, you just need to click on this green button at the bottom, and it's going to help you connect with the interpreter. And voila, we have this. So after point 1, we have 2. Initially, because I set it, starting was 1. So that's why it is happening like this. It is starting from point 1. So this is how it goes. Run it, watch the score getting updated line by line. We are manually adding points. Later, like I said, we'll be using loops for that. Variables can hold text too, not just numbers. So let's check that out. Suppose you want to save any player's name. So I'm going to name it as Alex, straight from Minecraft. And I'm going to give it the initial score to Alex as 0. And then I'm going to say print the player name, which is Alex. So I want to combine that variable name, player name, and you can see the suggestions are also coming. And here I'm going to name it as score. This is the score I'm going to display, followed by comma, score. Now once that will be done, we are good to go. So let's hit run and see how it goes. See, player name Alex and score is 0. Again, run it, see how we mix the text variable and a number variable in one print. That comma between them adds separately. So you can add multiple variables when multiple strings together in the same line using this comma. So this is how you declare variables, and also you could create a small score counter game in this same concept. This is how we can use variables. I will see you in the next video. I hope this video was helpful.